Hello everyone, welcome to chemistry class. We have been discussing the chapter number 3, element, compound and mixture, and in our last video on YouTube we have seen the part 1 of this present chapter. We will be continuing the same on YouTube in the form of recorded classes. You can watch this the lectures. Also the live classes are also going on the Teams platform. So both the classes, the live one and the recorded one on YouTube, will go side by side. Both the ones you can learn and take benefit. So the first part, that is element, we had seen in the last video. Also the introductory part for the compounds, how the different compounds can be split into different parts and the different formulas. Till here we had covered in the last video. In today's video we'll begin from the last topic only, that is the important characteristics of the compound. Although in my live session I have already discussed these points, but we will continue from the topic we stopped in the YouTube only. So let us continue our topic, that is the important characteristics of the compound. We will quickly move through this and then we will also learn about the mixtures in today's video. First one that is given here is a compound can be split. The definition of compound is what? That is same thing is written in the point 1 of the characteristics of the compound. So a compound can be split means broken into elements, different elements, by a chemical means only, not by a physical means. If we apply any physical method, then compound cannot be broken into different parts. But if we apply any chemical reaction, then yes, compound can be broken into individual elements. For example, water. Water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. It can be split into two parts by the method that is electrolysis. We have seen the method of electrolysis earlier. The method of electrolysis we have learned earlier, that is a chemical means. But if we apply any physical means, that is if we do the filtration of water, by the filtration what we will get? We will get pure water. We will not get the hydrogen and oxygen gas separately. On filtration water will become purified. So that is a physical method. That is why, because filtration is a physical method, it is unable to split that compound into two parts. So that is this point is about, that is compound can split only and only by chemical means and not by physical means. Let us move to the point number 2, that is given here, point 2. The properties of the compounds are entirely different than those of the constituent elements. Yes, the compound properties and the element properties. The element are having separate properties. When they combine together to form a compound, then we will observe a different property, entirely different property will come. For example, we will take same example, simple example of water only. Water is made of hydrogen and oxygen. We are getting water. So hydrogen gas and oxygen gas, both of these are producing water. So naturally we should be assuming that all these three things, hydrogen, oxygen, water, all these three things should be behaving same way, because water is also having hydrogen and oxygen, but it is not so. How we can say? Let us see here. Hydrogen is a combustible gas. Hydrogen is an explosive gas. It burns or it explodes readily. Whenever we burn hydrogen gas, it will burn readily. Next one, oxygen gas. It is also a supporter of combustion. Without oxygen, no fire can take place. Nothing will burn if oxygen is not there. So both the gases, hydrogen gas and oxygen gas, both are supporters of fire, or we can say supporters of combustion. Actually, hydrogen itself is burning. So that is about hydrogen and oxygen. In the properties of elements we have seen, both are supporting fire, but when they combine together and a new element and a new compound is forming, in our case water is forming, so on the combination we will get a substance, that is water, which is neither combustible nor a supporter of fire. Actually water is what? Water is helping in extinguishing the fire. Water is a fire extinguisher. That means it turns off the fire. So now you can understand this thing. The property has changed. Earlier hydrogen gas supporting fire, oxygen gas also supporting fire, but when both of them have joined together or combined together, then none of them is supporting fire. What actually they are doing? They are doing the opposite. They are turning off the fire, because they are not individual now. They are not alone or independent like they are in the compound, in the element. Now they have joined to become a compound. So compound form होने पे property change हो जाती है. Element is having different property, compound is having different property. So that is the point number 2 that we have learned. Another example also you can take. Here we'll read the bright yellow compound. There is a yellowish compound. It is having bright yellow color. That is mercurous iodide. This is a compound. Now this compound is made from two things. One is mercury. Another one is iodine. Mercury. I will write the symbol only. Mercury symbol is Hg. So mercury and another thing is iodine. That is I. So mercury and iodine, when both of them are combined together, then we will get a compound that is called as HgI. HgI name is what? HgI is called as mercurous iodide. So that is mercurous iodide. If we observe the colors now, mercury is a silver white liquid. Mercury color you note. Next, iodine is violet black solid. Note the color only. Mercury silver white, iodine violet black. But when both of them are combining, what color is coming now? When both of them are combining, mercurous iodide is formed and it is having a bright yellow color. Neither silver white color retains nor violet black color retains. That means both the colors have changed into what? On combination they will give us a bright yellow compound. So we can say the property of the compound has changed. In this case physical property has changed because the color has changed. So the property of the compound has changed. When mercury and iodine are elements, they are having different color, but when they combine together, a new colored compound is formed. That is bright yellow compound, mercurous iodide. So that is all for this property. Second point we have learned about the compound. We'll move to the point number 3. Elements combine in a fixed proportion of atoms to form a compound. We already have known this thing in the definition of the compound, that elements combine and compound is formed. When different elements are joining, compound is formed. But it is not the complete information. Elements will combine, but how many atoms are there? For that we have a rule, that is there is a fixed proportion of atoms. Always atoms will join in a fixed ratio. It is not that any number of atoms will join and compound will form. For example, if we take 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, then only we will get H2O. In the formula you can see H2 means 2 atoms of oxygen and O means 1 atom of oxygen. 1 atom of oxygen, 2 atom of hydrogen and 1 of oxygen. So this is a fixed number always. We cannot take any other number. We cannot write H3O is water. 3 atom of hydrogen cannot be there in water. We cannot write, for example, HO2. We cannot write this thing. This is wrong. So there is always a fixed number of atoms that will form a particular compound. So there has to be a fixed proportion. That means ratio of atoms. In this case, in the case of water, what is the ratio? You can see all the ratios are given in the table now. From the formula you can make the ratio. You can see how many atoms are there. 2 of hydrogen and 1 of oxygen. So we can write 2:1. Next one, carbon dioxide. You can see C means 1 atom of carbon and O2 means 2 atom of oxygen. So ratio becomes 1:2. Next one you can see NO2, that is nitrogen dioxide, 1 atom of nitrogen and 2 atom of oxygen. Next SO2, that is sulfur dioxide, 1 of sulfur and 2 of oxygen. Next HCl, 1 of hydrogen, 1 of chlorine. Next one H2SO4, H2 means 2 atom of hydrogen, then S means 1 atom of sulfur, and O4, that means 4 atoms of oxygen. Next one is given, H means 1 atom of hydrogen, N means 1 atom of nitrogen and 3 of oxygen. Last one CaCO3, calcium carbonate, Ca, that is calcium 1 atom, then C 1 atom of carbon, and last 3, that is oxygen. O3 is given, so 3 atoms of oxygen. So all these are given what? These are all the atomic ratios, and these atomic ratios are always fixed. If this ratio is not maintained, then the compound will not form. We have to take these number of atoms only, or the atom should be in this ratio, otherwise the elements will not combine together and compound will not form. Next, now we will move to point number 4, that is the last property. A compound contains the constituent element in a fixed proportion of mass. The first, in the earlier point just now we have seen there is a number of atoms that is fixed number of atom are there, or we can say fixed proportion of number of atom is there. But one more ratio is there, that is by mass. The mass of the atom also should be fixed, that is called as fixed proportion of mass. So if we take the mass and we are making water, then how much hydrogen, how many gram hydrogen and how many grams of oxygen we will take. So if we say the number is 2 atom of hydrogen, but the 2 atom of hydrogen should be equal to 1 gram of hydrogen. In our book it is given one part, okay, here it is given downside 1 gram of hydrogen. So 2 atom of hydrogen means 1 gram of hydrogen should be there. Similarly, in the formula of water only O is written. That does not mean, that means only one atom of one atom is there only for oxygen. So that is the number of atom. But if we see the mass, that then we have to take 8 gram of oxygen. So this is the mass we have to take, 1 gram hydrogen and 8 gram of oxygen. What will form now? You just combine both of them, hydrogen and oxygen. 1 plus 8 will give 9. So we will get 9 gram of water. So that is according to the law of conservation of mass, because mass cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed. So only it will be added here. 1 plus 8 will give 9 gram of water. So that is the point number 4. There is a fixed ratio of mass. In the point 3 we have seen there is a fixed ratio of number of atom. For the mass, one more example that is given in the book we will quickly see. For forming carbon dioxide, 2 gases are there, carbon and oxygen. That in this case 3:8 is there for the mass. So that means 3 gram of carbon will be there, 3 gram carbon, and 8 gram what will be there, oxygen will be there, and we will get CO2 gas. So total 3 plus 8 grams will be equal to 11 grams. So we will get 11 grams of CO2 gas. More details we will learn in the later classes. So these are the 4 points. All the 4 points should be clear to you. In the first point we have seen about the compound splitting. The splitting of the compound is done only by chemical method. By physical method compound will not break. The second point we have seen the properties of compound are different from the element. Element separate properties are there, compound separate properties are there. Third one we have seen, that is there is a fixed proportion of number of atoms whenever compound is forming. And fourth one we have seen, that is a fixed proportion by mass, that is also present whenever a compound is forming. Now we will firstly move towards the topic, that is mixtures. Mixtures are the third category of the substances. As already in the beginning of the chapter I told, that is substances are classified into two main types. One is called as the pure substances, second is called as the mixture. So substances are of two types, pure substances and the mixture substances. Pure substances again are of two types. One is called as, I will just make it again, substances two type, pure and mixture. Now pure are again of two type. One is called as element, second one is called as compound. So that is how we can say two type of substances, pure and mixture. And pure is again of two type, element and compound. Now how the mixtures will be formed now? You can relate this to this flowchart. Mixtures are actually formed by combining different elements or different compounds. Different elements and compounds on mixing or combining together, they will give us a mixture. So that is a mixture. So we will see one example that is given in the book. Many examples are given. First we will see the natural example, like air. Air is a natural mixture of gases. Different gases are present in the air. The air around us is having elements, nitrogen, oxygen, many noble gases are there. So these are what? These are all the elements. Second thing, there is also CO2 gas, there is also water. Water in the form of vapor it is present. Directly water is not there, humidity or moisture is there, that is water vapor is present. These are what? Compounds are there. So what we assume from this, what we learn from this, that is elements and compounds both are mixing together or combining together. What we will get as a result of this? We will get mixtures. So mixtures are formed by the combination of element and compound. It is not compulsory that both element and compound should be there. Only elements also mix, sometimes they will also give mixture. Similarly, only elements can be there and we will get mixture. So it can be any way. Element, compound can be present in any number. Then next is example is given, natural water, that is also having dissolved air. Oxygen gas is directly dissolved in water. Some other gases like CO2 also are dissolved in water. So directly we will say only dissolved air. Air is dissolved in natural water. Other than air, what is present in water? That is different salts are there. Different chlorides, sulfates, hydrogen, carbonate. That is minerals only, nothing else. So these are different minerals that are present in the water, and due to minerals only there is certain amount of taste that is coming in water. In the water you may be observing different taste at different places, at different water or different places. So that is actually due to the difference in the amount of minerals. Sometimes some salt are more, some salt are less in different types, different regions. It is varying, the taste of the water is varying due to the amount of minerals only it is happening. So natural water is also a mixture of different things. You can see it is having air as well as many salts or minerals are present or dissolved in natural water. And other than the natural water, another example that is given here is sea water. Sea water is having water plus different substances are there, that is actually different salts are there. These are also minerals, but we can call them salts. And even the common salt, the salt that we are using in our daily food, that common salt is also present where? It is also present in the sea water. From the sea water only we can manufacture or we can prepare the common salt, then it is sold in the market. So that is, common salt is also present in sea water, so that is also a mixture. In fact, sea water is unfit, we cannot use it in our daily life because it is having very high amount of salt. So it is harmful for our body. We cannot even drink that water. We will become sick. Dehydration will start. The person will start vomiting. So that is due to very high amount of salt that is present in sea water. We cannot drink it. We cannot use it in our daily life. So that is a mixture example we have seen. So all these substances are what? All these examples that we have seen, the air, then we have seen common, the natural water and the sea water. All these substances are all mixtures and they all are impure. They are impure substances. The pure substances are what? Element and compound. Impure substances are what? They are called as mixtures. All these are impure substances because they are having different substances mixed together or combined together. How to separate now? The mixtures can be separated by different methods, and all these methods which we are using for separating the mixtures, so they all of them are physical means only. We will not do any chemical reaction to separate the mixture. Only physical methods are used. So this line you will mark in the book. Mixtures are separated by dash. So answer you will write in that particular case physical means. I hope the topic is clear. The definition, same thing again repeats here. Mixture can be split into two or more pure substances. In this definition, pure substance you have to write. And by how we can split or break the mixture, that is by physical method name you can write. Then examples. Examples many are there. After examples I will stop. First point, now we will see air. Air is also a mixture that already we have seen. We will not go into more details. Air is a mixture. Second one, natural water, also we have seen earlier, have discussed in details. Natural water is a mixture of different substances. You can read these things, already I have explained just now. Then point number 3, we will see food stuff, all the different food items, whatever you are eating daily. So all these things, rice, wheat, pulses, vegetable, etc., all these things are mixtures of different substances. What they are containing, what type of mixture is it? It is a mixture of different nutrients, proteins, vitamins, carbohydrates, and so on. Different nutrients are mixed together in the form of food stuff, and that we are eating. And when we eat that, food is again broken down into smaller parts. That is same nutrients, जिन nutrients से food prepare होता है, on that into that nutrient only the food will ultimately break down, that is by digestion. So food stuff is a mixture that you will remember. And in this case, fourth example we'll see, that is medicines. The medicines are also mixtures. They are mixtures of what? They are the mixtures of active ingredients in minute quantity. Minute means a small quantity. What these active ingredients are there, in simple language you can call chemicals are there. Different chemicals are there which are mixed together in small quantities. These small quantities are in the unit called as milligrams. That is very small. So that is what we can say. Medicines are also an example of mixtures. After that, point number one more thing in the point number 4, one important thing that is given here. The medicines are mixtures of chemicals, but these chemicals are mixed with some other substances. What are those other substances? That is something to neutralize the effect of chemicals, because if we eat only the chemicals in the form of mixture, it will be more harmful to our body. So we are mixing some other things. What are those things? We don't have to learn all that. So some other substances are mixed to lessen, that is to reduce the harshness of chemical activity, because chemicals can be harmful on our body, so we combine them with other things to reduce the side effects of the medicine. So that is what is written as harshness of the chemical activity. So that is about the medicines. Point number 5 or the fifth example of the mixture are alloys. Alloys are what? Alloys are the mixture of metals. When we mix different metal and sometimes non-metal also are taken, but generally we will speak metals only. So different metal combine. We are taking a particular metal and we melt it. On melting, what will happen? Metal will become liquid, and that liquid metal is then combined together. Different metals we are taking and then we are combining together. As a result, what we are getting is called as alloy. So metal combine to form alloy. Metal combine to form alloy. So that you will remember what is alloy. It is a mixture of different metals in different quantities. For example, steel. Steel is a mixture of iron metal, carbon is a non-metal, and manganese metal. So three substances, metal and non-metal, are there: the iron, carbon, manganese. All these three substances, when they are mixed together, we will get a very strong substance, that is steel. Next example, you see stainless steel. Stainless steel utensils are there. Iron is there in stainless steel. Apart from that, chromium and nickel are there. So iron, chromium and nickel, all these three are elements. Different elements are mixed together, or metals mixed together, and they are giving us what? A stainless steel, that is an alloy. Next one we will read all these alloys. What you have to learn, all these alloys what are given here in bracket, their metal and the non-metal is given. So you will underline and we will ask this in exam. All these metal you will learn which metal is present in which alloy. 4 names are given: steel, stainless steel, brass and bronze. All these 4 alloys and their metal and non-metal you have to learn. So underline all these. Next one is given brass. Brass is containing what? It is having copper and zinc. So copper plus zinc, what we will get? We will get brass. But another one is given, that is bronze. Now that is made with copper and tin. So many children confuse here. One is copper and zinc, another one is copper and tin. Tin is symbol hota hai SN, that is tin. So copper and zinc, if it is there, then we will get brass. If copper and tin is available, then we will get bronze. So both brass as well as bronze are alloys. They are having different uses. So different alloys are there. Last one is given here, that is gold. Gold is actually a metal, but when we are making jewelry of gold, it is mixed with other metals, because gold is soft metal. It is mixed with other things like silver and copper. So gold mixed with silver, or we can mix it with copper. As a result, what will happen? The alloy will become tougher, or we can say it will become stronger. Then gold jewelry cannot easily break. If we are making pure gold only, if we take 100% gold and make jewelry, it is very difficult to give designs. First of all, it is very soft metal. Also, it is very weak metal. It can break very easily. Gold is very costly. If it breaks, we can lose our jewelry items. So it is generally mixed with other metals, silver and copper. Most of all the times, copper is used. So what is the purpose for this? For doing this, for making this mixture, is to make the gold jewelry tougher or stronger. So we have seen the point number 5 of alloys. We'll move the last one, second last one now, the industrial material. In the industry, different substances are made. For example, cement is made, glass is made, many more things are made. All these are examples of mixtures only. In this particular example, what they are talking is cement and glass. Cement and glass are mixtures of what? That is mixture of silicates of metal. Silicate is what? Silicate is a compound of silicon. There is one element that is called as silicon. Silicon symbol hota hai Si. So silicon. So when silicon is combining with any metal can be there, like calcium metal. Example is given. So when calcium combine with silicon, we will get calcium silicate. Ca calcium, S means silicate. So calcium silicate. Similarly, aluminium, Al aluminium, S means silicate. So aluminium combined with silicon, that will give aluminium silicate. So these things are all silicates of metals. So cement is having calcium silicate. It is a mixture of this thing. Similarly, it is also containing cement only, is also containing aluminium silicate. So cement is a mixture of calcium silicate and aluminium silicate. Similarly, glass is also an example of mixtures. Glass items are there, many objects are made of glass. Glass is a mixture of sodium silicate, potassium silicate, lead silicate. So here also you can see three metals are there: sodium metal, potassium metal and lead metal. All these metals combined with silicon give silicate. So sodium silicate, potassium silicate and lead silicate, what we will get? We will get glass. So these are all objects, that is, we have talked about cement and glass. These are the mixtures of silicate of metals. I hope it is clear. Now point number 7, that is all the minerals, whatever minerals are present on the earth, all of them are all the minerals are mixtures only. They are mixtures of different substances. So we have seen the different examples of mixtures and the definition of mixture. In this video, now we will take a pause. The characteristics and the properties of mixture onwards, and how to separate various mixtures, we will be discussing in the upcoming video. So that is all for today's class. We will see the remaining part in